Okay, we're going to look at Chapter 1. Chapter 1 deals with the user coordinate system and the z-axis. Going to use the drawing units and drawing limits commands. Going to use the thickness option. Going to look at the AutoCAD UCS. Going to be able to switch to predefined views. How to pre-select objects, controlling objects properties, and the visual styles option. Okay, so we're going to go here and we're going to go into our AutoCAD. Okay, and we're going to open up our template that we created. So I'm going to go to Open Files. Okay, I'm going to go to where my templates are. In my case, it's the D drive. In classes and spring, this doesn't matter to you. And templates, and I want to make sure it's a drawing template. It is. And I want the A and B inch template 3D because we're going to be looking at 3D. I'm going to pick open. Okay, and there we have our B size, our A size, and in model space we have our UCS icon. Now I want to make sure, come down here to the workspace, and I want to be on 3D modeling. Okay, our book has us go to 3D basics, but we're going to go to 3D modeling because that's what we use more often. I'm also going to go up here to this little down arrow, and we're always going to come, we're going to put show the menu bar. So if you have it like right here, you click on this little down arrow and pick show menu bar. Okay, we're then going to go to the top view. So I'm going to go up here where it says unsaved views, and I'm going to go to the top. Okay, we're in the world coordinate system. Okay, right here on top, I'm going to right click and I'm going to pick parallel, which puts us right to there. All right, so now we are ready to go. So what we're going to set first is we're going to set up our drawing units. So we're going to type in the word units. Okay, or the book has us go to up here to format and units, and we want to be in architectural. Our precision is going to be a 1/2 inch, and our insertion scale is inches. And we're going to pick OK. All right, so now we have our units set to architectural. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set our limits. Now our limits are nothing more than displaying the size of our piece of paper that we're going to be using. So we're going to go up here to format, and we're going to go down to drawing limits. Okay, now I want to know the lower left hand corner, and that's going to be 0, 0, 0. Okay, now it wants to know the upper corner, upper right hand corner, and that is 60 feet. Now you have to type the foot symbol. Okay, comma, that's 60 feet, comma 40 feet, and hit enter. Now we type in Z for zoom and all. Okay, and here we can see hopefully that down here I have my 0, and up here somewhere is around 60 feet. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, now our book has the grid and snap, and we're not going to use grid and snap because I don't like grid and snap. I want to make sure that you have dynamic input on, which is right over here. We're going to use that all the time. We're not going to turn it off. Some people don't like it, don't care. All right, we're going to draw a polyline, and we're going to draw the house, okay, or the outline of the house. So I'm going to go to polyline, and I'm going to start at, okay, the coordinates 25 feet. Okay, now I can put inches in here. If there are no inches, I can just pick comma. Okay, 25 feet, comma 10 feet. And make sure I put the foot symbol. Okay, so there you'll see now I have my start place. Okay, and in the book that is point or start point on page 19. Okay, now I'm going to type in at -11 feet, 6 inches, comma 0. So I'm going to go in the X direction, negative 11 feet 6 inches. Okay. In the Y direction, 0. So I'm going to draw a straight line to the left. Okay. And there it is. Okay. Now I'm going to type in at, because I'm going to go from that position, and I'm going to go 0 in the X direction. Okay, and in the Y direction, I'm going to go to 25 feet, 6 inches. Then I'm going to go to at, and I'm going to come over in the X direction, 30 feet. Nothing in the Y. Okay, now I'm going to come at, nothing in the X. I'm going to come straight down, negative 30 in the Z. Make sure I put the foot, okay, right there. I'm going to come to the left, so I'm going to do at negative 14 feet, 9 inches, comma 0. Then I'm going to go straight up, so that is 0, comma 11 feet. Enter. And then I'm going to go over to the right here, and that is going to be at 1 foot, 1 inch, comma 0, and then hit enter. Okay, so I have the outline of my house here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset those to create my wall thickness. So I am going to go to right here to offset. Okay, and I'm going to offset that 6 inches. Now the book shows you using the inch command. If you don't put anything there, it assumes inches. So I'm just going to hit enter, and then I'm going to offset to the inside. So I have this. Okay, so now I have my wall thicknesses. Okay, all right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the center walls. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to, book have us go up here to tools. Okay, and then toolbars, somewhere in here it says toolbars, AutoCAD, and then I'm going to pick Object Snap, which is right here. Okay, and that brings my toolbar here. I can take and I can put it wherever I like it, or I can dock it on anywhere that I want. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to go to Polyline again. Whoops, zoomed out a little bit. I'm going to go to Polyline, and I'm going to draw the polyline from the midpoint. Okay, so here's the midpoint. Okay, I want the midpoint of the outside line right here. And then I'm going to type in at, and I'm going to go 10 feet, comma 0. Okay, so now I have that right there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come up, and I'm going to put my F8 on. Okay, so ortho is on, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make it perpendicular to that line right there. Okay, all right, so now what I want to do is I want to offset that 6 inches. So I'm going to go to offset again, and it should be still at 6 inches. I'm going to offset it in, offset there to there. Okay, so now I have that box shown there. Okay, all right, now what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the snap from command. So I'm going to go and I'm going to draw a line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the little doorway in here. So I'm going to go to the line command. Okay, and up here I'm going to pick the one that says snap from. Okay, there's temporary track. This is snap from. Okay, and I'm going to pick from this corner right here. Okay, now notice it wants to know what I want to offset. So I'm going to type in at, okay, 1 comma, whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to do that again because I messed that up. Okay, I'm going to draw a line from this endpoint. I'm going to do at, and I'm going to do 0, 1 foot, 1 inch, which will be right there. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go at -6 inches. Whoops. I think I did something wrong there. So let's draw that line again. From here, same point here, I'm going to do at, okay, 1 foot. Oh, I'm going to go at 0, 1 foot, 1 inch. And then I'm going to go at -6. Okay. Now I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to end this. Okay, so we're going to draw a line and we're going to pick the from command. Okay, and the from command allows us to have a temporary point and then draw from there. So it's the second one here. Okay, and I'm going to go to line and from. Okay, and you'll see it says from base point. I'm going to pick this point right here. Notice now it's waiting for me to offset that. So I'm going to type in at. Okay, and the command that I'm going to type in there is, let's see, at 0, 1 foot, 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 inch. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and then I can either type in the command or I can just go perpendicular to that one there. Okay, now I can offset that for my door thickness. So I'm going to go to offset. I'm going to offset that 2 feet 8 inches. From there to there. Okay, now what I can do is I can trim that up. So I'm going to go up here to trim. Okay, now I can just pick those lines there. I can pick this line here, that line there, and that line. And I can trim that line there. Okay, so we have the beginning of our shape. Now what you're going to do is on page 1-15, you're going to complete the drawing using the poly command and using, or the polyline command, and using the offset and the trim and erase. Okay, so you're going to do that. All right, so we'll meet you back here in a little while. Okay, before we go any further, we're going to take a look at the UCS, User Coordinate System. In AutoCAD, we can only draw on the XY plane. Okay, so no matter what we're doing, we can only draw on the XY plane. Here you'll see our UCS icon. Okay, right now we are in the world coordinate system. Okay, which X is this direction, Y is this direction, Z is this direction. Anything we draw right now, if I draw a rectangle, will be in that UCS. Okay, if I draw a circle, it will be there. Okay, notice it's just like looking at this would be the top view. Okay, in order to draw anywhere else, we need to change our UCS. Okay, we need to change our user coordinate system. Okay, let's say that I wanted to draw on this surface right here. I want to put maybe a hole right here. Okay, so a couple of different ways I can do that. One I can do is I can go up here. These are my UCS icons. Right now, again, I am in the world coordinate system. If I click down this area, you notice that I can pick the view, object, or face. Okay, so I can change my UCS to a specific face of this object. So I can pick right here. Okay, and is that what I want? Yes, I will accept it. So now you see that my UCS icon has switched. Now my X and Y planes are here. If I go to draw a circle, okay, it will be on that user coordinate system. Okay, if I wanted to draw on this face right here, okay, again, I go to face, pick this face, accept it. Okay, and if I was drawing a circle, now you see that that goes in that face right there. Okay, so we need to change our UCS dependent on where we are drawing. Okay, if I'm drawing something, okay, so I start a rectangle here. Okay, notice I'm still in that UCS. Okay, if I go back to the world coordinate system, now I'm looking where this is right here. There's my top view, front, right. So if I want to draw something right now, that would be lined up to my top view. Okay, if we wanted to, okay, let's say that we wanted to draw something right here. Okay, again, my UCS is in the wrong direction. Okay, so again, I can go to my UCS, change the face, change to this face. Okay, now you see that my X and Y planes, this is my Y, this is my X. So if I go to draw something there, okay, I go circle right there. Okay, I can draw it right there. Now if I want to draw on this back surface, okay, now that is lined up with this front surface, but it's not at the same location. So if I go over here and I draw a circle, okay, and I put it right here, okay, notice that it is not in the correct direction. Okay, so again, I could go here to my UCS, I pick my plane or my face, excuse me, click right there. Okay, now if I accept it, now I am not actually on this face, okay, or I may not be on this face. If I go and take a look around here, okay, notice I line up with that face, but I'm not in that particular place. Okay, what I could do is I could change my origin of my UCS. If I type in UCS, okay, and I can specify the origin. Okay, so I can do it in a bunch of different ways. I can pick views. Okay, I go up here and I can pick 3 points. And I can say, okay, this is my origin. This is my X direction. This is my Y direction. Okay, now when I draw something, okay, that is going to be my origin right there. So I'm right on that face. I made it too big, but you can see what I mean there. Okay, so that is our UCS. Now we need to change that as we draw, especially when we're doing 3 dimensions. Okay, so we're going to go back and take a look at our house, and we're going to move our UCS around a little bit. So I'll be going there in a minute. Okay, so we finished up our house. Here are our rooms in our house. Got everything finished just like in the book. Now, we're showing this as a 2-dimensional object. Okay, if we wanted to look, and you'll see our UCS down here. Okay, that this is the X and Y coordinates here. Okay, if I go up here to unsave view, hit this down arrow, and I go to Southeast Isometric, that will give us a view on an angle. Okay, this will be like an isometric angle. Now we're going to take a look at creating a thickness to this. Now when we create a thickness, it's not really 3D. Okay, looks like 3D, but it's actually called 2.5D. Okay, this is an old method of drawing 3D objects. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab everything. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to grab all of this. Okay, so everything is picked. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to properties. Okay, on the properties you'll see thickness. Right now our thickness is 0. Now that's not thickness of the line, that's a thickness of all this object. So I'm going to again go to properties, and I'm going to change his thickness to 9 feet. Change that to 9 feet. Okay, and you'll see that now we have thicknesses to those lines. Okay, now again, they're not quite right if you look at them. If I go up here to where it says realistic, go down here and pick hidden. Okay, you'll see some of the things, even though we have thicknesses to these entities, okay, like these walls, they're hollow inside. Okay, you can see that. So it's not really 3D, but it will work the way that we want to do it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at making a new layer, and we're going to put these on the new layer. So I'm going to go up to Home, okay, and I'm going to go to Layer Properties. Here are the layers that we made before in our template. I'm going to pick New, and I'm going to pick Walls. Okay, and I'm going to make those walls. Let's see, what do I want to make then? Okay, you're going to make the walls. Okay, what color are we going to make the walls? Okay, looks like we're going to make them green. So I'm going to go up here to Walls. I'm going to pick Color. Okay, go to Color Index, and I will pick green, and I'll pick OK. Okay, I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to call it Roof. So I make a new one, call Roof. Okay, and I'm going to make that blue. Okay, so we made 2 different layers. Alright. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move. So I'm going to close up my layers. And I'm going to move all these objects, since these are walls, I'm going to move them to the wall layer. Now I can do that a couple of different ways. One, I could grab everything. Okay, just go up here to my layers, go to Walls. Okay, and I can just pick Walls right there. Now they're all on the wall layer. Okay, I can also go and move them. Okay, where I can say I'm going to undo this. Okay, so I can also take and I can grab them all. I can right click, go down to Properties. Okay, here you'll see my layer is 0. Hit that little down arrow, go to Find Walls. Okay, and now I am on the Walls layer. Okay, we're going to make our current layer Roof. So I'm going to go to the Roof. And now you'll see that here is my roof. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to reposition our UCS. Okay, we're going to draw the roof, of course, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to Tools. Now again, if this toolbar is not here, hit this little arrow here and you'll see Show Menu Bar. Okay, so I want to go to Tools, and then I'll go to New UCS, and I will pick Origin. Okay, so now you see that it wants to move the UCS, okay, somewhere. So we're going to move it right to this endpoint right here. Okay, right at this endpoint right here. Okay, so now you'll see that my UCS, or 0, is right at this corner right here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that, okay, we want the roof to come out to here. So we want it to be the intersection of this line and this line. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to reposition it. So we're going to go to our Tools, and we're going to go to New UCS, and we're going to go to Origin. Okay, and I'm going to just highlight the center of this, the endpoint, the endpoint of this. Okay, and the endpoint of here, I'm going to
move it over until those two line up. Okay, right there. Okay. So now our UCS is at the intersection of this line and this line. Okay. All right, once we got that, we're going to pick a rectangle. I'm going to pick a rectangle, and I'm going to actually go here, and I'm going to right click on it. Okay, and I'm going to right click here, and you'll see I have thickness, and I'm going to enter thickness, and my thickness is going to be 10 inches. So that's how thick my roof is going to be, 10 inches. Okay, now I'm going to specify where I want the start point. Now again, that's from this XY 0 plane, so I'm going to go -2 feet, comma, -2 feet. Okay, so -2 feet, comma, 2 feet. Okay, so now you'll see that my roof has gone over 2 feet in the X direction, negative X direction, and 2 feet in the negative X and negative Y direction. I'm going to type in at 34 feet, comma, 34 feet, and hit enter. Okay, so now I have my roof on there. Okay, again, notice that everything was taken from the intersection, okay, from our new UCS. Okay, again, if I go here and make sure hidden's there, notice that, okay, you see right through this because I've only did the thickness of this outside portion here. Okay, so we want to change that. So we don't want that. We want this to be solid in the other direction. Right now, it's solid, okay, on these 4 edges. I want it to be the top edge that looks solid. So I'm going to erase this. Okay, and now what I need to do is I need to rotate my UCS. Okay, I'm going to rotate my UCS. So I'm going to go to Tools, and then I'm going to go to Toolbars, AutoCAD. Okay, and I'm going to go to UCS. Okay, so now here are my UCS icons. Okay, so right here you'll see one that says there's a little rotate X direction. So I'm going to rotate my UCS, which is right here, in the X direction. Okay, and you'll see that I can move it around. Okay, notice it rotating around the origin there. Okay, and I'm going to put 90 degrees. Rotate it 90 degrees. You notice that if you have your grid on, notice that my grid is now changed. Now my X to Y, XY direction is now in this direction right here. Okay, so now we're going to draw our roof from there. Okay, so again, we're going to go to rectangle. Okay, now this time when we go to our rectangle, we're going to change our thickness, and this is going to be -34 feet. Okay, now the first point is going to be -2 feet, comma, 0, comma, 2 feet. And we're going to hit enter. And then we're going to do at 36 feet, comma, 10 inches. And hit enter. Okay, and now we have our roof placed where we want it. You can see that's right on top of there. And again, we made the thickness in this direction this time. Okay, so we can't see through it. Okay, so that is the end of chapter 1.